In part 2 of this video, let's put the starter back together. So last part that I didn't take apart, and I thought I wasn't going to, but in the end I ended up taking it apart. It's the starter drive with the lever and a few washers. And I already took off the ring, so I'm just going to show you how to take it apart. Basically, there's a little groove, and that's where the ring goes into, and then it holds this washer and the spring together. So to take off the ring, I just used a pick tool like this and pulled it off, and obviously it went flying. So I'm just gonna show you how all these parts come together, because it's easy to get them mixed up. So this washer goes this way, then this lever goes with this side up. This washer goes, this side goes down on the spring, and then the wider portion of the spring comes on top of this starter drive, and the more narrow portion is facing up. So I took it apart and cleaned it. I used a wire brush like this, mounted on a Dremel tool, about 10,000 RPM. Did the job to clean off all the rust, and then I wiped it off with isopropyl alcohol. So now we're going to put it together. So basically this is completely apart. So we put the spring on, put the first washer, it's a little tricky. Now we're going to put the lever. Okay, we got the lever on, and the second washer. So you compress it, make sure that the spring didn't get caught in the groove, that it passed the groove. And now this ring. So to put it back on, don't try to put it through this way. Just slowly work it from one side, slowly push it on. This one is really tricky to do, but actually not even that hard. And that's it. The ring is on, and this starter drive is back together, and I was able to thoroughly clean it. So now you know how to put it back together. Let's continue putting everything back together. So you will see on this plastic piece there are two little circles, and on this piece you will see on this side there are two circles on each of these black grommets, and on the other side there is no circle. So I think this is how it goes back together, so that the circles are facing each other, though I can't imagine this making any practical difference. Now these little gears, when I was taking it apart, they were pretty dirty, so was hard to tell which side is which. But now definitely you can tell that on one side there is some kind of a serial number and it says Germany. On the other side there is nothing. So I think this side goes down. I think that's how it was before I took it apart. But then again, I can't imagine the direction of these little gears making any practicable difference. So I'll just put a little bit of lube, because I know that these gears are supposed to be lubed. Now I can put the washers back on. And now this ring. That's it. Now it's not gonna push that way. The rings are gonna hold it in place. Now the starter drive goes on top of this gear. And now this whole piece is back together. So if you remember, we took out this little ring from here. Then this one was on top of it. So we'll put this one on first, this way, because it's going to come up and hug the ring from this side. And now we gotta figure out a way to put the ring back on. Okay, this worked. So getting this back on was probably the hardest part of the job. Everything else is easy. So it's when it went back on, put a little bit of lube in this gear. Now these two pieces, I don't think I took them apart in the last video. So to clip them together it's a little tricky, but basically this cutout has to align with this little notch. And then this cutout will align with this notch. And then there is the third one right here. And then you just push them in and it's done. So now to close it, you'll see that there are two round holes, and there are two round holes on this side. There is only one way that it can be aligned and pushed together, because if you align it this way, it's not gonna go in. So when the solenoid gets voltage, it jumps like this and the gear gets engaged, so it's going to be higher. So it goes all the way up and then it starts spinning and engages the flywheel. And this is how it attaches, like this. When it gets current, it gets pulled, and these teeth engage the flywheel, start spinning. When the solenoid receives current, it gets energized and the plunger gets sucked in. At the end of the plunger, as you've seen, it connects to the lever, and the lever will get pulled. Once the lever gets pulled, it will extend the starter drive forward, which will in turn engage the flywheel. You can see here, as the plunger gets sucked in, it closes a circuit with the lower post, and that's where the starter positive cable is connected. And what happens once the circuit is closed, the starter receives 12 volts, so it starts spinning. I placed the starter with the gear side up to show you that in its current state, with the solenoid not yet connected, the starter drive will not jump forward. When you turn your key to the start position, 12 volts is supplied to the starter solenoid. The solenoid gets energized and pulled on the lever, which extends the starter drive. At the same time, the solenoid closes the circuit and provides 12 volts to the starter, and the starter starts spinning and engages the flywheel. Now I'm gonna clean the armature with electrical parts cleaner. And I got 800 grade sandpaper that I'm gonna use to lightly sand the commutator. I would say this is pretty clean. Now you can do a couple of tests with a multimeter. So if you set it to resistance, and you can test the resistance between the shaft and the commutator bars, and it should be infinite as it is now. And the second test is the resistance between the individual bars, and it should be very small. So here it's 0, and obviously the test is you check the shaft against each bar individually. I don't think there's anything wrong with this starter. It was working when I took it out, so I'm not troubleshooting an issue with it. I'm just cleaning it, so I'm not gonna go through the whole process. So I painted the starter housing and cleaned up all the other parts, painted the back plate so we can put it back together. So let's install the brushes now. And they go down this way. Perfect. This ring was really useful to hold those brushes. Okay,